some and I'm spending some. What's the plan? Bet I get it done. It's me, yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Cold Hard Football Facts Show for September 14, 2022. It's a great day. It's Wednesday. We're almost at football, right? It's been a little bit of a struggle the past couple of days not having football in our lives, whether it's college or NFL, but we finally get it back on Thursday night. And here at Cold Hard Football Facts, we could not be more excited about this matchup. The Kansas City Chiefs will be hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. 4.5-point favorites. Line opened at 3, as we were talking about on TikTok before the show got started. So welcome to the show. We'll be breaking that down. Also some news around the league. Rest in peace, Rodrigo Blankenship. You are no longer with the Colts, and that's very sad to me because we love Rodrigo's glasses. But anyways, guys, we'll be breaking down some news in that game and then looking ahead to the weekend as well. How we doing on TikTok? How we doing on YouTube? It's a great day to talk some cold hard football facts. How we doing? Man, the East Coast, who's win this game? I think the who's going to win this game is definitely going to be interesting. It's going to be a tight matchup, a tight game, and I'm very excited about it. I'm definitely going to be either on Chiefs 4.5 or Chiefs money line. I still have not made that ultimate decision, but you can make your own decisions if you go to coldhardfootballfacts.com. Everyone is literally enjoying. No Nerfy sweat. Get the Nerfy talk out of here. Get the Nerfy talk out here. I don't want to talk Nerfies right now. I'm sorry. I had a rough day at Nerfies yesterday. I don't want to talk about Nerfies anymore. I can't do it. I simply need to stay away from Nerfy betting for the remainder of my life. How we doing here? Rest in peace to the Lego legend. Rest in peace to the Lego legend, Charlie Nichols. Hey, man, what's going on? My Giants won against the Titans. I don't know what's going on with that game. That game was crazy. I think if the Titans and the Giants play 10 times, the Titans do cover 7. They had a 13-point lead. They blew it. Don't even get me started on it, people. Don't even get me started, but I appreciate you guys watching over on YouTube. Chiefs minus 2.5 alternate. I don't mind that. Tanner, are you down? I'm down bad for the past couple days. The weekend was great. Pro football wasn't great for me, but college football definitely put me up big, and I started betting a little more risky, and Monday, Tuesday baseball has just murdered me. But, we're going to keep trying. We're going to keep trying here and keep trying to push forward, and football's back, so it gets me excited. Are the Red Sox back? You know why the Red Sox could be back, Drew? Good teams win, great teams cover. Anyways, let's keep talking about cold, hard football facts. I have no MLB locks, guys. I have MLB picks on my page. You want to lock, you go to Home Depot. Don't forget that. Again, I can't even pick the freaking pick my nose right now, let alone a baseball pick. So we'll see what happens today. But again, go to my page. You can see all those plays. Does Cold Hard help with fantasy? Yes, it does, Bob Joe. Cold Hard helps with everything. Fantasy, everything. Fantasy, sports betting, all that good stuff. What's up, Chris? Chris is one of our favorite customers here at Cold Hard. He's the guy, the man, the myth, the legend. But anyways, guys, Cold Hard Football Facts helps with fantasy betting. I mean, it's been helping predict stats for over 200 years. You can use this game capsule, as you're seeing here, not 200, 20 years. Geez, 200, man. We're going back to the Pilgrims. You can see this game capsule right here, guys, that you see on TikTok. You get all this stuff for every single game. You get premium articles on fantasy content, betting content, all that good stuff, guys. So make sure you get on there. Promo code kickoff. The link is in the bio. We're going to be talking about it all show. Promo code kickoff. Even help me with the love of my life too. There you go. Chris is saying that. I love that, Chris. I love it. So go up, guys. The link is in the bio. Promo code kickoff. Start. You get a free week. So if you hate it after the weekend, you can cancel. I don't think you will. We've had over 100 people sign up so far in the past, few days, really, and nobody has canceled. No, actually, 2 or 3 people have canceled their subscription, but that's like a 99% hit rate. So make sure you go on. You're going to love it, guys. I'm telling you right now. Promo code kickoff, link in bio, and we'll be breaking down these stats. So if you want to see how I break down the stats that you can see on TikTok right now, go up, link in the bio, come to YouTube, the Cold Hard Football Facts YouTube, and you can see I'm going to share it on the screen. I'm going to say Chiefs spread in the over 3 units. Chiefs spread in the over 3 units. I think Chiefs spread at 4.5 is definitely a safer play than the Chargers at plus 4.5 for a few reasons, but we will get to that in a minute. We want to talk a little bit of NFL news right now. I think it's important to go around the league and see how's that going to affect our betting, right? So we do like looking at the NFL news wire a little bit, see what's going on here, see what's going on with the injuries. A lot of you guys already asked me questions about who's in, who's out, who's injured. Better fade god, you or Trent? Trent's definitely a better fade god, Bob. I mean, guys, I'm not that good I'm not really a fade god yet. I don't think I've achieved that status. I've had a couple bad days. But again, if I got to be fade god Trent level, man, you're making a lot of money being a fade god. You're making a ton of money being a fade god. Who dat, baby? There we go. All right, so Joe Flacco is going to be starting in week 2 for the Browns. That affects your betting, obviously, if you're going or at the Browns. That affects your betting if you're taking the Jets. Joe Flacco is playing quarterback. Bet accordingly. Let's see here. Hackett apologized for what he did with the Denver Broncos the other night. That was good to see. Obviously, Coach Hackett did not make a great decision kicking a field goal. He took $250 million out of the hands of Russell Wilson, basically, and said, we want to kick a 64-yard field goal. So that was not a smart move. Bet accordingly if you are planning on going with the Broncos anytime soon. Khalil Mack was not satisfied after the opening game of the season. He said he didn't play well enough. He had a sack, but he didn't play well enough. We'll see what he does on Thursday night if that makes a difference. Do they pay him to bet? Seems like he's got the money glitch. What do you mean the money glitch? What do you mean the money glitch? What do you mean the money glitch? No, the books don't pay me to bet, guys. CHFF got Charger spread. Well, if you look at the Cold Hard Football Facts, it's meant for you guys to make your own decisions based on the stats. Based on the stats after week 1, Chargers minus 4.5 is not, or Chiefs minus 4.5 is the move, right? But again, you can interpret these stats however you want to interpret it for fantasy or prop play, right? The way I interpret it, at least, the Chiefs rank higher in the quality stats power rankings. They're a better team when it comes to the quarterbacks are equal, but they're a better team in the trenches, especially on the offensive line. I think that could make the difference in this football game. Geno is better than Russell, hands down. I agree. Tanner, how do you white? Back to front or front to back? You can interpret that. No, Trent must be down, but is always throwing lots of money in. Again, guys, when we come with this fade god concept, nobody is paying anyone to bet. Nobody. If the books were paying after 2 days of losing, if the books were paying me to bet, man, I'd be pretty impressed. But like, you don't get paid to bet necessarily. They make so much money, the money goes into bet. You know what I'm saying? Chargers probably have a top 5 O-line unit. And right now, they ranked 18th in offensive hog index. I think the Raiders exploited them a little bit. The Raiders hung around in that game, and that's my biggest fear when it comes to betting on the Chargers, but we'll talk about that in a minute, guys. Let's see. Any other news around the league to talk about? And then obviously Rodrigo Blankenship kicked the ball out of bounds twice and then missed a 42-yard field goal. So, as a Colts bettor, I didn't really appreciate that too much, but Rodrigo, I wish you the best. Anyways, Minshew, the Cowboys, Gardner Minshew, the Cowboys, Chris Albert. It's possible. I think for the Cowboys, we can break down the Cowboys a little bit right now. Mac Jones is hurt. I'm not sure if he's going to play this week. I didn't see anything. Trent for sure. He does have a deal with Prize Picks. But Minshew to the Cowboys. We look at Gardner Minshew. We look at the Cowboys right now. I think the Cowboys need to scheme. They can't put the ball in Cooper Rush's hands and expect him to be the guy, right? They got to scheme, run game defensively. They got to take the load off of Cooper Rush. It doesn't come down to throwing the ball 100 times with him. They got to pound the rock with Ezekiel Elliott, and I think they're going to be okay doing that. I think the Cowboys will bounce back, but are they going to be a great team this year? No, they didn't do enough in the offseason. We saw it. We talked about the whole Dallas media said it. The Dallas Cowboys did not go out and do enough in the offseason to win football games. They were banking on a division being very, very easy, and that's not the case. We look at what the Washington Commanders did this weekend. They're going to be okay. We look at the New York Giants with Brian Dable. They're going to be competitive. And then we look at the front runners right now, the Philadelphia Eagles. They did some things in the secondary I didn't love. They did some things on defense that I absolutely didn't love. They allowed the Detroit Lions to crawl back into that game. As a Lions bettor, I loved it at plus 5.5, but they can't win every game with offense. They're going to need to step up on the defensive side of the football at some point this year. And what are you going to get out of Jalen Hurts consistently moving forward against a team probably a little more talented than the Lions? There's still a lot of questions around that team. But the NFC East right now is a wide open division. Cold Hard has player ownership percentage. What do you mean player ownership percentage? What do you mean player ownership percentage? No players. We have a lot of stakeholders and owners. We don't have any players owning anything. What world you live in, Cupcake? I think the USA, honestly. Mac Jones hurt. Let's see. Mike Williams bounced back this week. I don't know, guys. There's some scary stuff. Like Mike Williams was a scary one. Cam Akers was scary, right? If you have those guys in fantasy, I don't know if I'd necessarily bench him or get rid of him. You got to give him the benefit of the doubt here. Also like look at David Montgomery. Not a great week out of him, but he was playing in a monsoon. So those guys, you want to hold those guys, give them another chance. I usually in fantasy, I give players a couple chances before I pull them or start doing something different. But there's definitely places that scares me. Tanner sits when he pees. Wow, the comments are rolling in today. The people don't like me today. I don't know. 2 days of losing out. That 2 days of losing. 2 days, I went 5-0. Well, 3 days of losing, I guess, but the weekend was really good. Guys, I had a hell of a week last week. I was up like 18 units last week. Now I'm down everything. I benched CD. Like the thing about CD, when you look at CD, the biggest thing with CeeDee Lamb is like who's the help. He doesn't have help around him. You don't have Amari Cooper. That was huge losing him. CD had 11 targets, right? He caught 2 passes. Ridiculous. That just can't happen. If you're a Colts fan, if you're not Colts, if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, if you're a Dallas Cowboys bettor, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, if you're Jerry Jones, you can't have CeeDee Lamb getting 11 targets and only catching 2 passes. No, like who is likely the most popular play of the day, like shows what percentage people are picking. Not really, but you go off the stats. Like this is a tool. And I like to stress this too, because this is a tool that people like, as you can see, I got a lot of haters in here. People say I'm peeing, I'm sitting when I'm peeing. That was actually a really good comment. Whoever said that was a good comment, because I haven't gotten that one yet. Are you going to put a favored pick in each game of the week analysis? I'm going to put my favorite pick out there, Chris. I will do it, not the guy writing the article. So I will put my favorite pick, but again, take that for what it's worth. Again, I had a really good NFL season last year. First week wasn't great. We weren't going off any stats, but just keep that in mind. I'll put my picks out there, but you're not paying for my picks when you look at Cold Hard Football Facts. You are paying for tools that help you win money. 20 years. We've been predicting the outcome of NFL games for 20 years. I literally put my hard-earned money into this to be a stakeholder, to be an investor, because I believe in this product so much. Adam Schefter's used it. Kay Adams has used it. Pete Schrager's used it. Peter King has used it. The Boston media is very big into it because it originated in Boston. So make sure you go up. Make sure you go up, promo code kickoff, link in bio, promo code Tanner, whatever you want to use. You're going to get 50% off and a free week. So I believe in this product very, very much. How much does it cost? It's $69 for the entire season with that 50% off coupon. $69 for literally the entire season, guys. I see cappers, and some are worth it. Don't get me wrong, I guess, but some are charging $150 for a weekend, $200 for a weekend, right? $200 for a weekend. This is $69 for the entire year, and the stats get better and better and better as the season goes on. By week 6, man, it's legit. 6 spreads over 8 points this week, and that's what sucks. And that's why you need Cold Hard to determine what the spread best picks are. Now we look at the stats right now. We only have 1 week of stats. When we get to week 3, week 4, week 5, and week 6 is when they start to peak and really become consistent. I mean, they're like 70% when you get to week 6. 6 spreads over 8 points this week. Do you think Bears got a shot? I do think the Bears have a shot. But again, I think the monsoon also helped them last weekend, so I wouldn't get behind the Bears too much this weekend, if that makes sense. I think it's a big spread, so obviously any team with a big spread has a chance. I would not take them to win outright against Green Bay. I think Green Bay is going to come into this game and play very, very well. Do they win by 30 points? I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have to get used to not having the Devontae Adams receiving core in place. But I think the Bears do have a chance. First few weeks, spreads are always a trap. They are always a trap, guys, 100%. We got a lot of people on here. Follow the page, guys. We do this every day at noon. Thursday football shows, big Sunday shows as well. We're a little more fired up on Sunday. Pirates, Reds, who you got? Guys, again, it's the first game of the day. I think the +1, take +1.5 or +1.5. Bears money line, easy. I don't think Bears money line is going to be easy against Green Bay. I think Green Bay is going to come out and play pretty well. We look at what Green Bay did against the Vikings. Minnesota is a really good football team, and I think Kirk Cousins with the new coaching staff in there is an MVP caliber player. So Green Bay didn't lose to a bunch of scrubs. And we do know one thing. Aaron Rodgers owns Chicago. Rodgers owns Chicago. There we go, Trevor. You put it in there. Thursday night over. I mean, the game is kind of like an over game. It's kind of like an over game. You look at the total's very high, but it's an over game. My boy, you should quit gambling. Why would I quit gambling? Why would I quit gambling? Why would I do that? It makes no sense. God dang, it's football. Get the baseball crap out of there. You picked 2 picks this week because of CHF all by myself. There you go. Are you going to put favorite pick? I will do that. Yeah, you took the Broncos. I did take the Broncos, guys. And do I regret it? I mean, I think 6.5 was the move, but Broncos money line, my live bet on Broncos money line, I felt should have hit. I mean, when you're 0 for 2 from the 1 yard line, you're 0 for 2 from the 1 yard line. What are you going to do? I mean, you can't fumble twice on the 1 yard line and expect me to sit here and say like that was a game that they shouldn't have won. Fade the public early in the season. Broncos sold. Broncos did sell. The Broncos sold. But again, I'll say this, guys. If you go to coldhardfootballfacts.com, you check out Cold Hard. You took Broncos and you're trying to sell a service. I'm not trying to sell it, guys. I'm trying to sell stats that help you win money. That've been in the game for 20 years. You're not taking my damn picks. It's how you interpret the stats. But if you go up, link in the bio, you can see that the Seahawks actually ranked first in bendability last season. Bendability is how well a team plays around the goal line, how many yards they give up per point. Seahawks were really, really good when they got close to the goal line. And even though, and I'll say this, and I'll give the Seahawks bettors the benefit of the doubt here, even though the Broncos did fumble twice from the 1 yard line, they still weren't getting in the end zone on either of those plays, right? It wasn't like it was a clear way the end zone, it got punched out from behind. They were stuffed. Like Seattle did a really good job stiffening up around the goal line. Live betting drives has been easy money. Live betting drives is definitely a way to go. Bro, stats are literally free online. There's incredible sites. What makes you different? 22 proprietary quality stats, unique to us. We have the trademark on it. We have the patent on it. We were the ones that originally came up with the Tom Brady is better than Peyton Manning narrative based on these stats. Look it up. So yeah, I mean, our stats are money. I'm telling you, they're really, really good. F Trump 8083 just followed those. Any Nerfies that I don't have any Nerfies. I got burnt bad with Nerfies yesterday, so I'm trying to stay away from it. Can we see the patent? If I can get the patent for you. But yeah, they're you go look it up. Proprietary quality stats. Go look it up. Type cold hard, guys. Type in cold hard. Do some research. Go up. Link in bio. Promo code kickoff. 50% off. Let's go. Mahomes has a fractured hand. No, he doesn't. Get that shit out. Mahomes has a fractured hand. Do we know how big a storyline that would be if Mahomes had a fractured hands? Do we know? Left wrist looks good. X-rays reveals results for wrist injury. Do we know how big a story that would be? Left wrist, but he said he's playing through it. All right, guys. Do we know how big a story if he wasn't playing through it? That Blue Jays Nerfie was so garbage. Didn't know Manoah was starting. Wasn't starting, yeah. Chargers win outright. You like Jonathan Taylor over 103. I like Jonathan Taylor over every single week. Every single week, I like Jonathan Taylor over. And it's going to start creeping up and creeping up. Eventually get up to about 105, Chris. 110, possibly, depending on the week. But I like Jonathan Taylor going over. Let's see. Non-domains. He can play, but we won't be the same. Yeah, I mean, guys, it's going to be a tight game. But you could also look at from the perspective of Justin Herbert saying he doesn't have Keenan Allen in the lineup either. Chargers money line. No, I don't think Chargers money line, guys. I don't think that's the play. I'm either going to be on Chiefs money line or I'm going to be on Chiefs 4.5. I haven't totally decided yet, but again, you can make your own decisions on that game based on this game capsule that you see behind you. I'm taking Steelers +3. I think the Steelers are going to be okay this weekend. Again, a pissed off New England team. That's the one thing that does scare me. He's taking hot take taking Mahomes under 308. I don't know, hot take with the hurt wrist and against the Chargers secondary that was not really great last weekend. I mean, yes, they had the 3 picks, but I think Derek Carr put them in positions to be successful. I think Derek Carr missed a lot of wide open receivers too. So when we factor all this into the equation, I would not say that, you know, the Charger secondary was perfect by any means. Frozen for all too. It might be, guys. We might be having some connection. It says good connection on here, but we'll keep that going. Yep, it's frozen. Now it's frozen. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Chris, watching on YouTube. It seems the TikTok connection's frozen, so we're gonna try to fix that. Are we back, guys? Are we back? We got good connection. It says now we got good connection. We got the 5G connection. Got the 5G. Anything? Back. Okay, we're good. We're back. All right, cool. So we're back there. So guys, if you want to watch on YouTube, go over to YouTube. We're going to share the game capsule for this Chargers game. We can start breaking it down a little more. We'll talk player props specifically tomorrow. I do have a couple player props in mind right now, but overall, let's just look at the spread. So maybe take 300. Yeah, 300. I mean, you could tease it up too and then go under. You could also get some value doing that, Chris, as well. I don't know. I hate my life. You know, well, Chiefs have both hog indexes. Yeah, they do. The Chiefs have both hog indexes. And again, Chris, you got to take it for what it's worth right now. It is the first week of the season. We have 1 week of stats to go off of, right? So when we look at that, it makes it a little harder. You know, when we get week 5, week 6 in there, it's going to be a totally different game. All right, so guys, if you want to watch over on YouTube, you see the game capsule behind you. I'm literally sharing that onto YouTube right now so you can see the whole thing, and we're going to talk about what it means and all this stuff from Cold Hard and why you should probably go up, link in bio, promo code kickoff, and get your 50% off subscription with your free trial. If you hate it after the weekend, you can cancel it. And follow the page too. Let's go. Follow, like, share. We got a lot of people on here for a noon show. We had a lot before the connection that went out, so make sure you follow. All right, Chris. Watching over on YouTube. Anyone else, guys, come watch over on YouTube. Link in the bio. Cold Hard Football Facts YouTube for that. All right, so we look at this game here. Now, keep in mind, guys, based on our stats, based off our 22 quality proprietary stats, all right, we only have 1 week to go off of right now. Same YouTube as TikTok. Yeah, same YouTube. No, it's different YouTube. Link in bio, the win the day, not the win the day YouTube, the Cold Hard Football Facts YouTube. Chargers W this week. Guys, there were a lot of things that the Chargers didn't do well against the Raiders. You have to keep that in mind when you're looking at this game. The Chargers did not put away the Raiders when they had the opportunity to. And as a whole, that scares me a lot if you're going to go out and bet on Los Angeles, because I want a team that puts their opponents away, take them out back and finish them off, as we say when we do our live streams. All right. The Chiefs did that against the Cardinals. They really didn't put any, they left no doubt. They were the best team on the field that day. And that's what scares me about betting on the Los Angeles Chargers. What you thinking on DraftKings tomorrow? Just join in. I mean, I'm either going to be Chiefs 4.5 or Chiefs money line. Most likely, I will not be on the Chargers at plus 4.5. I do think the Chiefs have the better team. I think they have the better talent, especially on the offensive line. That's going to make the difference. Is offensive rusher rating mean how good they are at running? Yeah, it's how well they run the ball. And Chris, too, if you actually go into every individual statistic and you click on it, so if you click on any one of those hyperlinks, like offensive passer rating, defensive passer rating, it tells you what it means, and then you can also see. I did a video for every one, so you can break that down. You got Herbert over 288 passing yards and Eckler over 4.5 receptions. I haven't made a decision about Eckler, but those two pair it up. We talk about like correlated props. That would be a good prop to correlate there. Herbert over 288 and Eckler over 4.5. That would be a good prop to correlate. So we look at this quality stats power rankings. Right now, the Chiefs are third in our power rankings. Chargers are fourth, so two even teams here. Scoreability is one thing to look at. Scoreability is how well you convert yards into points, guys. Again, if you want to see what I'm talking about here, you can see it on the back. But if you want to see what I'm talking about, come over to YouTube. Scoreability is how well a team converts yards into points. That was an area where the Chargers weren't great, right? They didn't take advantage of every opportunity they had against the Raiders, where the Chiefs converted their yards into points. They found ways to put the ball in the end zone consistently. Bendability, that's one area where the Chargers were better defensively in the red zone. But in this game, I'm really looking at the offensive and defensive lines. Yes, the Chargers have a very, very talented defensive line, right? Didn't necessarily play great against the Raiders, but they were okay. They ranked 14th following week one. Chiefs actually ranked higher at 11th. Now, factoring this all into the equation, though, the Chiefs have a better offensive line. They rank third in offensive hog index. Third in offensive hog index. Third. All right. That means this Chiefs offensive line is going to be very good. They were a top tier offensive line last year. I think they have the ability to run the ball. I think they have the ability to protect Patrick Mahomes. And if you give him time, even with the hurt wrist, it's still going to mean that they're going to convert those yards into points. No point in putting much into the stats this early in the year. I agree with that. I agree. There's no point putting too much into the stats this year, but you can look at them and get a good perspective. I mean, the Chargers played against a Raiders team that wasn't great, but they didn't put them away. The biggest thing that I look at, guys, when I'm looking at these stats right now, I look at offensive line, defensive line, quarterbacks. How well do those guys play? The bottom line, based on last week, was the Chargers had a chance to put the Raiders away, and they didn't do it. If they pull that in Arrowhead Stadium on Thursday night, they will not win this football game, and we know that. Do you think Nationals win today? No, probably not. No. I had 50 on the under for the Colts. Who for your captain, etc.? Who for my captain on DraftKings? My captain on DraftKings, I mean, you got to go with a running back or a quarterback, whatever you want to do. I mean, I think... You mean in this game, my captain in this game, I think it's got to be Justin Herbert or Patrick Mahomes, whoever you think is going to have the bigger night. I wouldn't make it Eckler. I wouldn't make it Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And here's the thing too, guys, we were talking about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You know, we talked about this player prop here. You know, for Clyde, he had a really good week last week. What do you have? He averaged like 5 yards a carry, but he only had like 7 or 8 carries. You can't expect a running back to go over total when they don't get that many. We go back to Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny should have went over his total. He was averaging 5 yards a carry. He just didn't get that many carries. Y'all think Patrick would get 4 touchdowns? 4 touchdowns pushing it. I'm a steal yo BITCH. Didn't you just tell me to quit gambling a minute ago too? But anyways, you know, it's funny how the chirpers, the numbers don't go down. But yeah, I do personally think Patrick has a good day. I think asking for 4+ touchdowns is going to be a little much. DraftKings has a 7-point early win promo. Who should I put it on for Thursday's game? Well, that has to be on the money line, and the Chiefs on the money line, you don't have the same value like you had last week with the Rams and the Bills. So, I mean, whoever you think is going to win the game, that's how I would do it. I wouldn't put it on a team that you don't think is going to win, but could be up by 7 just to get the plus money, because a lot of bettors made that mistake last week with the Rams. No, that wasn't me. I like gambling. There you go. David Montgomery thoughts. I think David Montgomery is going to have a much better week. But with that being said, he's also, you know, we've kind of seen David Montgomery be up and down for the past 3 years. He was playing in a monsoon. When you're playing in a monsoon, you can't get great traction, especially on that terrible grass out in Chicago. So just keep that in mind. But I think David Montgomery deserves another chance. Do you bet on hockey ever? Yeah, I had a pretty good hockey season last year. So I do bet on hockey, guys. I do it all. People tell me to stop, and I keep freaking hammering. Who signed up for Cold Hard, guys? Link in bio, promo code kickoff. I'm telling you, get your free trial. Check it out. See if you like it. Curtis Samuel going to do well. Is Curtis Samuel going to do well? Let's see here. All right, so Curtis Samuel last week for the Commanders had 8 receptions, 55 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, I think that's better than a lot of people expected going against the Jaguars. Jaguars aren't great in the secondary, obviously. This week, the Commanders, who they got this week? They have the Lions. I mean, we saw what the Lions did. They got the Lions at 18. 14. Yep, they got the Lions this week. We saw what the Lions did. They were very susceptible to the pass, but they're tough against the spread too. So I think that's a good bet, having Curtis Samuel go over receptions, over yardage, based on what we saw last week from the Eagles and the Lions. Do you think there's any chance the Bears upset the Packers? Already signed up. Stop yelling at me, Chris. I got to yell at the people on TikTok though. I got to yell at the people on TikTok. I'm telling you guys, it's worth it. Should I start Waddle or Christian Kirk? I have Tua as QB2. I like Waddle. I loved what I saw out of Waddle against the Patriots, so I think you got to go with Waddle there. Everett Yards will be a juicy player prop. There you go. How do you feel about Eckler this week? Here's what I can say about Eckler, and here's what I can give you guys based on the stats. I'm going to reshare the screen here. I know someone said don't put too much thought into the stats, and to a degree, I believe in that right now. I don't think you should put everything into these stats, but I think once we get moving forward, you should. But here's what I can tell you based off these stats. The Chargers against the Raiders had the opportunity to run the football, but they simply didn't do it. They ranked, let's see here, they were 24th in offensive rusher rating following week 1. So they didn't pound the rock. Eckler is very good, and he's a multi-dimensional back, right? He can run the football out of the backfield, but he can also catch it. And they have Justin Herbert. This coaching staff, they're going to lean on Justin Herbert more than Austin Eckler as a running back. They want to throw the ball with Austin Eckler and have him catching passes out of the backfield. So I think Eckler's reception total might be good, but you might want to stay away from, a running total, a rushing attempts total, just because you don't know what they're going to do. Travis Etienne was such a bad pick, took him. And man, again, though, the Jaguars got to figure it out too a little bit. I think I wouldn't rule some of these guys out. The team's just got to figure it out. Who do I bench? Mike Williams. You bench Mike. I think you bench Mike Williams out of Amon St. Brown and Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle's got to be on your team, man. Jalen Waddle was very, very good. Over on Aaron Jones rushing yards. Aaron Jones was on my team for fantasy last week, had a big, big week. So I would take that. What's up, Man C. Garf? What's up, Man C. Garf? How we doing? Would you start Herbert or Kirk Cousins this week? The Chiefs rank 19th in defensive passer rating after week 1. And 19th in defensive real quarterback rating. Those stats are based off one game against the Arizona Cardinals. They didn't play great against the Cardinals. I think the Chiefs still have to figure some things out in the secondary. But with that being said, I do think Justin Herbert has a successful week. I'm betting on Justin Herbert go over his passing yards this week. And you know what? I have not decided. I did say I'd be on Chiefs 4.5 or Chiefs money line, but I have not totally decided if I'm just going to stick with player props in this game or take a full side. I haven't totally decided on that because it is early in the season. But I do like Justin Herbert to go over his passing total this week. Kyler Murray or Derek Carr, James Robinson or Cam Akers. James Robinson or Cam Akers, Kyler Murray or Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr's performance last week's very, very scary. I don't think it's one that you want to bank on and say, hey, I don't think it's one that you want to give up on him for, but I mean, it was a bad week. It was a really bad week for Derek Carr. Kyler Murray's numbers. Let's see what Kyler Murray did last week. 2 touchdowns, 193. I mean, Kyler Murray was decent. I think you got to go with Kyler Murray stat wise over the interceptions, because the one thing that's guaranteed, Derek Carr is going to throw a pick, man, based on what we saw last week. Bench Darrell Henderson or Devin Singletary. Again, guys, if I don't get to all your questions, it's going to be a track meet Thursday night. I agree. I think over is probably the move there. But again, guys, if you have any questions I miss them, just keep putting them or come over to YouTube. I always get to the YouTube questions because there's not as many. We don't have as many people watching over there. So link in bio, Cold Hard Football Facts YouTube. You can get all your questions answered. I will answer them all. We got Tacos Kelsey for a touchdown minus 150. Is that too juice? Travis Kelsey. I think that's a little juice, Chris, if I had to pick. But again, he is their wide receiver 1. I know he's a tight end, but he's still wide receiver 1. So under better for Chiefs running back. If I had to pick, Chris, it's one that I would say stay away from because he could go over. Clyde Edwards-Helaire could go over. I just don't see him getting as many carries to go over. So that's all I'm saying. But still to be determined, Chris. Still to be determined. Maybe they'll bring the total down a little bit. Can you still pull up last year's stats on the website? Yeah, so you can pull up from 2015 back, I think, 2016, 2017. You definitely can get last year. So you can see everything these teams did last year. So that's actually, in some cases, almost better to go off of. But yeah, you can see that. We have premium articles on there. We have videos. You can see all the videos we do. But you're really paying for the stats. You're paying for this for every single game. Every game you get this for, guys, with a write-up on everyone. Hey, I got a new friend in here now. There you go. Sal's coming in here. The Bears actually played pretty well. I thought the 49ers get the job done. They were up, and then they fell apart. If he picks Chiefs, go Chargers. Probably true, Bob Joe. Bob Joe, are you getting a subscription, Bob? Are you getting a subscription? Because you came on, asked about a subscription. Now you're just chirping. So get a subscription. Link in bio, promo code kickoff. You guys don't, obviously people like listening to me. I got 100 people in here still. But anyways, if you don't want a subscription, what are you doing? Go up, link in the bio, promo code kickoff. Try it out, people. So many comments to answer. People love football. Hill or Goddard? Tyreek Hill or Goddard? Tyreek Hill, man. Tyreek, are you kidding me? Come on, Tyreek Hill. I mean, that's just based on the numbers. You got to go Tyreek Hill. Trade Judy for Juju. I think you're both. Jerry Judy's going to be really good this year. I think Juju's going to be good. I think they're both going to get a lot of targets and both going to get a lot of catches. I don't think you can go wrong either way. I would rather have Judy personally, just off what we saw in that opening game. I mean, he's so explosive. James Robinson or Cam Akers? You probably got to go James Robinson just because you don't know what you're necessarily going to get out of Cam Akers right now. I have Tua, Waddle, Edmonds, Amon-Ra, Christian Kirk. Is 3 Dolphins too much risk? Who do I trade? Well, you're putting all your eggs in one basket there. Again, Tua, I don't think's bad. Tua, Waddle, and Edmonds, I don't think that's bad at all because Edmonds doesn't necessarily go off what Tua does. Waddle and Tua are connected, right? So if you 3 years ago, I won my fantasy league with like a whole package of bears, right? Or 4 years ago, 5 years ago, a long time ago, actually. I'm thinking it was like the Jay Cutler show. See, this is a long time ago. It was like the Jay Cutler show. It was all the receivers they had down in Chicago that year, and they just all crushed it, and it worked out for me, right? Now, that doesn't necessarily always work out. So Tua and Waddle are pretty connected. Edmonds, I wouldn't say is as connected, but if I had to make a suggestion, I would probably get rid of Edmonds and go with another running back if you could, just because if Tua and Waddle are connecting in the passing game, Edmonds probably isn't getting the touches. James Robinson, Saquon over rushing. Yeah, Saquon over rushing. Bob Joe, you're telling me to fade. So if I say over, then wouldn't you go under on that? Would you go under? Is that what that means? I don't know what you're saying, Bob Joe. I would go over, so you should probably go under that. James Robinson, Cam Akers. Should I just drop Cooper? Should I drop Cooper in a 10-person? Cooper? What Cooper are we talking? Should I drop Cooper? Cooper Rush in a 10-person league? Cooper Kupp? What Cooper are we talking about? Everett tight end for Chargers, over 19.5 yards in the first half. I like that, Chris, especially with Keenan Allen being out. I do like that a lot. Any news on T. Higgins? Let's see here. T. Higgins. He's not going to play this week. I know that, the concussion, but he'll probably be back in a week to 2 weeks. Do you like Houston and Seattle covering? I mean, they're big spreads. I'd say I'd be more. I think if anyone's going to have a hangover, it's more likely Seattle. Houston kind of gave up late. They didn't play to win the game, which, it's probably good for covering, but not good for winning outright. Tennessee Titans will probably be the Buffalo Bills. Beat the Buffalo Bills. And I mean, Buffalo looked really good, guys. Buffalo looked really good. Cart or Hurst for week 2. Go Hayden Hurst. James Robinson or Cam Akers. Again, guys, Cam Akers. I think you got to go James Robinson. I have Tua and Waddle and Edmonds. Amon-Ra, Christian Kirk's 3 dog. We got that. I'll get a subscription if you get a decent barber this week. Agreed. Get a subscription. Link in bio. It looks good, guys. It looks really good. Jeez. How is American rugby interesting? Literally. Wait. American, did he just refer to football as American rugby? Get that out of here. It's the greatest sport in the world. Would you trade Kelsey for Kittle and Tyreek? Yeah, I would 100%. Kelsey for Kittle and Tyreek. I'd do that in a minute. DK or Waller in the flex. DK all the way. DK looked really good. DK surprised me. Mahomes over 12 fantasy points in the first half from Chris over here on YouTube. Again, guys, you want your YouTube comments answered, you go up, link in the bio. It's easier for me to see all the YouTube comments. Mahomes over 12 fantasy points in the first half. I think so. I think Mahomes going to have a big day. Nerfy Nation just hopped over on the YouTube so I can listen alone while working. Keep up the work. I'll be sending you some new stuff here. Appreciate that, Nerfy Nation. Guys, shout out Nerfy Nation too. I mean, I haven't been – last night's Nerfy's hurt. We know that, Nerfy Nation. But if you guys are into Nerfies, look up Nerfy Nation on TikTok, eBay. He has a lot of cool merch, a lot of soft merch. It says Nerfy Nation 6 outs on. It's pretty cool. It gets me fired up to go bet Nerfies. Now, problem is I've been hitting him lately, but he's got a lot of cool merch. So go to eBay, search Nerfy, and you will see all his stuff. Schultz or Everett. I kind of like Everett this week. Especially with Keenan Allen out. Chris just asked that question. I do kind of like Everett. You just said something on Higgins. Higgins will not play this week. Higgins is not going to play this week with the concussion. Amari Cooper, Juju, or Melvin Gordon. Dallas Cowboys miss Amari Cooper. That's what the deal is. Will we see a bounce back from Pitts? I think we will, guys. Pitts is so talented. He's going to find people, or he's going to find the ball. I mean, that's just the way it works. Literally always have my teams on red when Tanner's on. There we go. Literally always have my teams on red, or text on red when Tanner's on. Love that. Juju or Melvin Gordon, Amari Cooper. Let's see. What's your say on Higgins? I got that. Josh Palmer. Jeez, we got a lot of guys. So many damn questions coming in here. These are questions you can help answer actually by yourself if you get Cold Hard Football Facts. Josh Paul, as Keenan Allen's injury opened the door for a breakout performance for Joshua Pollard or Josh Palmer, possibly, right? Again, you're banking on a backup though, so that's your choice. Literally, always got that. Guys, link in bio, promo code kickoff. 50% off at Cold Hard, guys. Cold Hard Football Facts, promo code kickoff, promo code Tanner, link in bio, first link, 50% off, people. You get all these questions answered based on stats. We talk about these stats every day. You got to try it out. The people are absolutely loving it. The people are loving the stats, guys. And I'm answering all these questions. Help me out. Support me, guys. I come on here every day. Support me. Get a free trial. See if you like it. Hill, Bateman, Renfro, Money, Curtis, Samuel, Robbie Anderson. Pick 3, please. Appreciate the help. All right, so I like Hill. I do like Tyreek Hill. I got to do a little more research on it. All right. Rashad Bateman found the end zone last week, but he only had 2 receptions for 59 yards, so that could be a little bit of a different story. Renfro, I hate Derek Carr right now. I absolutely hate Derek Carr, so I would probably stay away from Renfro. Moni, I like that. Curtis Samuel, I like Robbie Anderson, somewhat scares me. Here's what I would do. I'd go Hill. I'd go Bateman. Go Hill. I'd go Bateman. What'd Bateman do? 2 for 59. We got that. And then I would go Robbie Anderson. Here's my biggest fear with Robbie Anderson right now. I think Carolina is going to start giving the ball a little more. I think Carolina might. I don't know if Carolina is going to be as good. I don't know. But based on what Robbie Anderson did last week, that might be the move there. Robbie Anderson, 5 receptions, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Even if he doesn't have that touchdown, that's still a 15-point week for him. So Robbie Anderson, probably Hill, and then Bateman, if I had to pick. Who do I target having CD? Who do you target having CD? I mean, the problem with CD is, he doesn't have anyone throwing the football. That's the biggest issue with CD. Edmonds or Jacobs, give previous question, or should I find better? Given previous question, or should I find better? Edmonds or Jake? I like Josh Jacobs. I really do. I think Josh Jacobs is going to end up playing a huge role on this team because I personally think he had 10 for 57 and 1 reception. I personally think that if they get into a position where they don't have to throw the ball a million times in a game behind Derek Carr, they're going to do that. Josh Jacobs is going to be that bell cow back. 10 for 57 is a great week when you look at the average. They just got to give him more carries. We know Josh McDaniels loves to run the football, and if Derek Carr continues to turn the ball over, they will run it. Last week, they didn't have that luxury, obviously, going against Los Angeles, and they were down the entire game. They had to just score. Patterson or Zeke, Darrell Henderson or Christian Kirk. I like Henderson, but I do like Henderson, but you just you worry about the 2 running back system there. Is he going to be the one getting the majority of the carries? Did what we saw in week 1 really, is that an indication for what we're going to see moving forward? So that would be my biggest thing. If that is an indication for what we're going to see, he is the guy over Christian Kirk. Henderson or Sutton in the flex in a PPR. I mean, so 13 for 47. I think Sutton's probably a better move there in a PPR. But again, Darrell Henderson also had 5 receptions last week. My biggest fear with Henderson, like I said, is Cam Akers going to get some time this week. If Cam Akers gets some time, you definitely got to go with Sutton because overall, if he doesn't have those 5 receptions, he really doesn't do too much on the day. It's only 4.7 points for him. He had 9.7. Tanner fading. What do you mean I'm fading, Razan? What do you mean I'm fading? We're feeling good. Who should I trade for Edmonds of equal value given my previous Dolphins question? Wow, we're really going up, guys. I'm working hard here. I am fading. I'm working. I got 37 new messages from the message I'm at right now, guys. The people are commenting like crazy. Promo code kickoff, link in bio. Let's get it, people. Sign up for Cold Hard Football Facts. Free trial, guys. Help me out. Support me. Number one way to support me on here. You also get all these quality stats, 22 quality stats for every single game of the year. You get the rankings, you get the premium articles. Make sure you go up. Promo code kickoff. Link is in the bio, guys. Mahomes over 1/2 int. Cold Hard Football says yes to passing touchdowns for Mahomes over 2.5. Yes, they do. I would ride with the Mahomes 2.5 passing touchdowns. Carter, Russ, or Kyler. We got so many messages in here. Who should you trade for equal value of Edmonds? I mean, probably like Cam Akers right now, honestly. That's what I would say. Let me get my cheat sheet up. So equal value to Edmonds right now, you're probably in that. Let's see. Equal value to Edmonds is right around Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire value is really high after what he did in week 2. But you're like Miles Sanders or Ramondre Stevenson. That's who you're looking at. Rashad Penny even. I think if you could trade for Rashad Penny, that would be a huge deal. You might have to throw someone in with there because Rashad Penny, I think, is going to have a huge role on this team. But that's something to look at. All right, Edmonds, Hall, Carter, ATN. Choose one PPR. Edmonds, Hall, Carter, ATN. I mean, let me see this. I'm very high on Breece Hall. I think he's going to have a huge week, especially with Flacco again. Again, he went 3.8 yards, 23 yards, but the Browns have a good defense, so I'd stay away from that. But probably I'd say Carter or Edmonds. That's what I would go with. ATN too unpredictable right now. Henderson or Sutton in the flex. PPR against Sutton. Same questions coming in here. You the man. Thanks, brother. No problem, guys. Drop Dameon Pierce to pick up Miles Sanders. Yeah, I mean, Miles Sanders is going to run the ball, but again, the Eagles, if when you look at Miles Sanders right now, let me see what he did. When you look at Miles Sanders, I think he's going to have a big year, but I do think personally that Jalen Hurts is better this year, and I think that's going to hurt Miles Sanders' production. But 13 for 96 with a touchdown, pretty hard to argue with that. Should I drop Amari Cooper in a 10-person league? I don't know if I drop him, but you could probably get something for him. It's better to get someone than drop someone. Are you taking Mike Williams over for Thursday? I'm not. I don't think I will take Mike Williams over for Thursday. Start at flex. Juju, Josh Jacobs, or Cordero Patterson, full PPR. I think Josh Jacobs, but Cordero Patterson had a bigger week. So, I think Josh Jacobs is with his ability to catch the ball in the backfield. Jeff Wilson or Jahan Dotson at my flex. I like Dotson. Juju or Samuel Curtis. Juju, Wentz or Lamar. Lamar all the way, guys. Lamar all the way. Ability to run the ball. Thoughts on Henry for Chubb trade? I would rather have Chubb personally right now, the way it looked. Now, again, they're going to split some carries. Chubb's going to split some carries a little bit, and he didn't get the goal line touch that he needed to get, but he's still going to have 100 yards a game. Like that's going to be a Nick Chubb day. Pick 2, Penny, Sutton, or Hollywood. Hollywood right now without DeAndre Hopkins. I like Penny if they would run him more, and I also like Sutton. That's a hard one. I think Hollywood and Sutton, based on what I saw out of Penny and the production, he averaged 5 yards a carry, but they didn't give him the football. If you don't give him the football, you can't run the ball. My prize picks for tomorrow. Everett Mahomes over 2.5. This is from Chris Albert over on YouTube. Mahomes picks under 0.5. Herbert over 285 yards. Mahomes over 12.5 fantasy points for the first half. I do like that a lot. I do like that. Everett for the quarter, over 2.5. Mahomes pick under 0.5. I like that a lot. And guys, the pick props are very good because they're at like minus 115 right now for both. They're even money on each side. Start Henderson or Zeke. Zeke all the way. I think the Cowboys are really going to have to rely on Zeke. The comments are literally rolling in here like crazy, guys. We got 1 million people on here right now. Please, guys, support me. Every day I'm on here. I'm on here at 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. We talk football at 12. We talk betting at 10. Every day, guys, make sure you go up. Link in the bio, promo code kickoff. You get all these stats. We can answer all these questions based on the stats, guys. Beats all these fancy questions based on the stats. So make sure you go up, guys. Get yourself a free trial. Promo code kickoff. Promo code Tanner, whatever you want to use, 50% off, guys. Get it going right now. Bateman or McLaurin? I like McLaurin. I do. I like Rashad Bateman too. That's a tough one. Go with Bateman. Touchdown props for tomorrow. We'll get into that. We'll get some touchdown props going in a minute, guys. As much as I want to answer all these fancy questions, we got a lot of stuff going on here. Full PPR, Patterson, Penny, or Deontay Johnson, the flex. Probably Patterson. I think they're gonna give him the most burn. Worried about Najee. I am a little worried about Najee, the injury, but I think they're gonna hand the ball to him if he's healthy. Sutton or Judy? Jerry Judy all the way. I think Judy's the goal line threat, and that's big. Even Evan, Sutton, Juju, or Dylan at the flex. Thanks for the rose. I appreciate that. Dylan, Sutton, Evans. I like Juju right now, the way it looks. Edmonds, Dylan, or Patterson. Man, we're just coming in with every question right now. I probably would go with Dylan or Patterson. Most likely Dylan, because I think Green Bay's receiving core is young, inexperienced, and they're going to rely on him a little more. Thoughts on Herbert, 225 plus, Mahomes 225 plus, Kelsey 40, Juju 25 plus, CHE 25 plus. I like that, Ryan, a lot. What's the odds on that? If you have them, what's the odds on that? I would play that for sure. Everett over 20 yards in the first half. I like that, Chris. I do. CD trade or wait it out. You got to wait it out. You could probably trade higher right now, but you got to wait it out. Cooper Rush might be able to hit him. You never know what they're going to come up with. So I'd go with it. Pineapple on pizza. Hell no. What do you think about Eckler and Juju tomorrow? I think Eckler's going to have a bigger day receiving. I think Juju's going to have a good day. But I don't think the Chargers are necessarily going to give the ball to Austin Eckler too much. They ranked 24th in offensive rushing. They didn't lean on it against the Raiders, and they could have. They had opportunities to do it, but they chose to throw the football. Is Palmer a strong play over A-Rob? I think it's 50-50. I don't think it's a bad bet, but you're banking on a backup to step into the role and take some reps from a starter, right, because of the injury. So I don't think it's a bad bet. I just don't think it's a terrible bet. I don't think it's a bad bet. I don't think it's a great bet. I mean, I don't like betting on backup guys. Who's the MVP of DFS? Who's MVP on DFS? Who's your captain on DFS? It's just got to be a quarterback. It's got to be a quarterback, running back. What do you think about Valdez-Scantling? I like Valdez-Scantling a lot. What team will win for sure? There's no such thing as a lock, guys. You want a lock, you go to Home Depot. If there was a lock, I wouldn't be losing as much as I am on freaking baseball right now. DJ Moore, Michael Thomas all the way. The things he can do catching the ball is pretty special. Eckler over his rush yards tomorrow. I would say no. We can look at that right now. Let's talk about tomorrow's game a little more, guys. And remember, Cold Hard Football Facts, link in bio, promo code kickoff. I want to see 1 million subscriptions at the end of the show. Let's go. Come on now. All right, let's see here. Tomorrow's player props, receiving, rushing props. Right now, Austin Eckler's at 53.5. I don't hate it. I just don't love it. I think this game quickly becomes a shootout, and in a shootout, you got to throw the ball down the field. I nerfed Reds Pirates, and that shit just cost 8 minutes. Lodolo and Contreras 2 free. Love that. Great job. Dalvin Cook thoughts. I think if Dalvin Cook can stay healthy, that Minnesota Vikings team is going to be very, very scary. Very scary. They could do something special with looking how susceptible that Green Bay played this week. Anderson, Sutton, or Landry. Juice, Sutton, or Anderson? I think Anderson. Robbie Anderson. How's Dookie? The show's going good. I'm hoping when I get off here, I see a bunch of subscriptions, people getting free trials. That's what we're on here for. Those odds are plus 100 on FanDuel right now. Yeah, I mean, plus 100 is a little tough. Double your money there. It's a lot to happen if an injury, but I do like the numbers. I might bump them up a little bit, just get the odds a little better. Hot take, Mike's Cannolis in North End is overrated. Mike's Cannolis in the North. Are you a Boston guy, Chris? Are you a Boston guy? I don't know if it's overrated. There's some good. Boba's is my favorite spot in the North End. It's so good. Open 24 hours. Boba is the best spot. Kareem Hunt or Chase Edmonds? I think Chase Edmonds because more the number one there. Let's see here. What Chase Edmonds 12? Nah, and actually, I mean Kareem Hunt going to get more goal line touches. I had a brain fart there for a second. Ayuk or London? I think Drake London's going to get good this year. Edmonds or Travis Etienne? You guys just asked me questions. How many parlays you win a week? Be honest. I don't play parlays really, Meatloaf. I really don't. I mean, if I was playing parlays, I'd lose almost every one of them because I haven't won a bet in a while. But again, guys, parlays are sucker bets. I look at the parlays. I look at what I'm down right now. The past 2 days, not good. I've won one baseball bet in the past 2 days. But if I was playing parlays, man, I'd be down even worse. Dalton Schultz or Garrett Everett? Probably Garrett Everett. I mean, you just got to look who's throwing the football right now. Start James Robinson, Martez Van, Robbie Anderson. Start Robbie Anderson. ATN. Do I start Mike Williams this week? Man, you probably give him one more chance. Colts beating the Jags in Jacksonville. I sure hope so. I think they'll get a little revenge. Who do I think's winning this game? Overall, guys, I do think the Chiefs are going to win this football game, but we will see. Again, it's football. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Based on what I'm looking at here, though, I think the Chiefs are a better team. I think the Chargers are not great in the secondary right now. And they're not. I think the Chiefs are susceptible in the secondary, but I just think overall they're going to be able to pound the rock and win this football game. I think they're going to throw it down the field. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a big day. I don't know if he has a huge day just because of the amount of carries that he gets, but as a whole, I do like the Chiefs to pull out a win in this one. Tanner Kern over under 5 home runs this football season. I'm taking the over on that. I'll be hitting home runs freaking every weekend. AJ Brown for ATN, Deontay Johnson, Braden Cooks, good deal. Not a bad deal. ATN could end up being a bust. I mean, I'd rather take Braden Cooks than Deontay Johnson and AJ Brown. Should I trade Najee? No, keep Najee. Najee was probably one of your top picks. I wouldn't trade Najee yet. Don't do that. Wait, you can't afford to do that. But anyways, guys, we're going to sign off here in a minute. Make sure make sure Kareem Hunt or Dobbins. It's tough, guys. I mean, Kareem Hunt's getting the goal line touches. Probably go with Kareem Hunt. Take Kansas City on the spread. I would. Well, don't bet on this game. Chargers got it. I'm either going to take Kansas City money line or Kansas City on the spread. I have not decided yet. I still need to pick. I still need to do some research tonight, guys. And again, that's why you need to join me tomorrow at noon. We're doing the same show. We're going to be focusing all on this game tomorrow. We're doing player props, breaking down every single which way, right? Also, go up, link in the bio. I'll have a lot of articles posted on coldhardfootballfacts.com. You got to get your subscription, though. Link in bio, promo code kickoff, 50% off, people. 50% off Cold Hard. 50% off Cold Hard right now, and you get a week free. So try it out this weekend. See if you like it. See if you like the platform, all that good stuff, guys. And we will get it going tomorrow at noon. We'll also go live before the game tomorrow night. We'll be doing, probably be live around 5:36 tomorrow night before the game, most likely around 6. We'll just be doing some, general sports talk for 30 minutes talking about this game. So we'll do that then. We got a lot of fun stuff planned this weekend. And then, of course, our Sunday show is going to be epic. Friday as well. Night show with Sports Dak. Sports Dak's good. I should get something on with Sports Dak. I do like talking to him. Or at 3. We'll see what we're doing with Sports Dak. I got to talk to him, but I do enjoy talking to him a lot. So that could be good, guys. But make sure you start Mike Williams, give him another chance. Make sure you go up, link at the bio, promo code kickoff or promo code Tanner, sign up for Cold Hard Football Facts. We will see you tomorrow for another episode of CHFF TV.
Make it sound